So what is going on? Ains Covers here, and welcome to another reaction video. Today we're doing top 10 teenagers freaking out after a life sentence. In this video, a bunch of teenagers did a bunch of fucked up crimes, and they're given life sentences, and we're gonna watch how they react to it.
It's about amazing top 10.
That nigga's face is obviously funny, so.
Term of 2 years on that income as well.
Dude, this bitch.
Like, really? Okay, wow, that first guy just heard his sentencing,
Oh, shit,
and he
yo.
just totally passed it.
So we're watching this on, what's his name? Landon Productions. He made a channel called Top 10. He's got a, I like Landon Production, but I stopped watching his videos. I stopped watching Top 10 because they started bringing in new hosts and shit like that. They were all fucked up, and they all had shitty, corny fucking sayings, so.
I mean, that would be probably my reaction. Well, that was Tony Farmer, and he only got a 2-year sentence. He's pretty lucky compared to these.
By the way, it's been like, that's why I said I really wanted to fight that guy. It's been like maybe 2 hours after we went to the smoke shop, and my jaw finally stopped hurting. Still sore as shit, but it finally stopped hurting.
Next teenagers on our list who were sentenced to life in prison. Well, how's it going, you guys? I'm your host for this one, Landon Do Not Sing, and welcome back to another most amazing top 10 video. So just before we get into...
Everybody calls him Landon Do Not Sing because his last name, Dalit Singh, apparently a lot of people can't pronounce.
This video, I just want to let you guys know that this video is sponsored by the W Brothers. These are two brothers who founded an amazing... Jewelry isn't made for you. When you go into a store, you know for sure someone else has that same thing. But with the W Bros, you have the ability to make something custom. They can create virtually any design or ideas you have, and they can turn it into a gorgeous high-quality pendant, a ring, bracelet, cufflink, earrings,
I might have to go there.
Whatever you guys can pretty much think of.
I want to put...
Thank you so much.
I'm going to go to that site, and I want to put Jamie's birth date on a ring. Definitely.
The chain W Brothers, and if you guys want to check them out, you guys can click the links down below. They've worked with many YouTubers, artists, and celebrities in the past. They all created their own designs. So we wanted to leave the best to create our logo, and we sent them off our design, and they created it pretty quickly and without any problems. And it was really easy, and it was a very fun experience. You are unique, and you deserve to stand out. Life is... Okay, so starting us off like we always do with number 10.
By Judge Rebecca Down, who gave him life without parole, sparking the outburst.
Damn, he tried to murder people. I'm already going for life.
So that was Matthew Sandell Jackson, who appeared in front of a Milwaukee County Circuit judge who was sentencing him. Sandell was charged with first-degree intentional homicide and attempted robbery in the shooting death of a 21-year-old.
Wow.
Sandell pleaded guilty to the felony murder charges. He was given a life sentence, but was hoping for a chance at parole at some point of his sentencing, but the judge denied it, and that's when Sandell started to freak out. And everyone else in the courtroom was freaking out as well. Now at number 9, we have a girl who freaked out so bad she started
a homicide.
Like it was just uncontrollably. And I remember one time I hiccuped for like 6 months straight. It was really weird. So
the parents testified has a history of being someone who to be manipulated.
So this teenager, Jennifer Mee, was being tried in court for a murder charge, and she just couldn't keep calm. She was freaking out while being handcuffed. Jennifer Mee actually became famous after that video, and after years, she finally talked about that viral video.
What happened to that sweet 15-year-old girl that we first met? I couldn't even figure. I got paced over the wrong crowd of people, really. Unfortunately, when I started experimenting with drugs, I just felt like I was invincible to everything.
Now she will be facing the rest of her life in prison, and she may not have the opportunity to ever leave. During the interview, she said that she thinks she deserves about 20 years, but not more than that.
Listen, I feel like there is at least 20 years. I do. Because yes, someone's life is taken, someone's above and someone's child.
Your attorney is saying that there's less than a 1 to 2% chance of you ever getting out of it. How do you hope to do it?
I can't put nothing past God, but I've been locked up since I was 19. I can't stop fighting. I have a family that wants me home.
Next up, at number 8, we have 17-year-old Raceland Martin, who pleaded guilty to first-degree murder, and this is after he killed his 63-year-old grandfather with a hatchet. Is this real life right now? He was sentenced to life in prison, and during court, Martin was freaking out. And this guy was just shaking. He was so scared. He was terrified of what was going to happen to him. Well, what else do you think is going to happen to you?
Yeah, butchering
you're
your
gonna be in prison
grandfather
for the rest
With
of
a
your
fucking
life.
hatchet.
Yo, crazy ass.
Couldn't you just stab
Okay,
that
let's
nigga
watch
or
it again,
smothered
but
him
I'll
in his
slow it down
sleep?
a bit for you
You better go
guys.
fuck somebody up, throw your ass in solitary.
It must be a very difficult case because both of his parents testified against him.
And appeared to be listening intently to testimony, occasionally nervously looking down. Tonight we heard testimony from both parents.
Moving into number 7, we have the youngest on our list, 13-year-old Kashawn Mann, who became the youngest person who committed murder in Kent County. Kashawn killed his mom's boyfriend. So after Kashawn's mom actually tried defending her 13-year-old son, the victim's family were outraged and chaos pursued in the courtroom.
That angry relatives of the victim, Jamel Stokes, leading to a scuffle.
Damn!
And she actually found out her boyfriend was abusing her son and the murder was justified. I don't think that any murder can be justified, and also the mom was fighting for her son to not be tried as an adult. This is a crazy situation because you have this young kid who is abused, and now because of poor decisions, he's going to prison for the rest of his life.
This is a child. Yes, he may have committed an adult crime,
The judge was about to sentence her son, Keyshawn Mann, for second-degree murder.
but obviously, after it all comes out, he was treated in ways that I had no clue of. So we can't say that, oh, he was never mistreated.
Moving into number 6,
Damn.
Physically shaking throughout the hearing. Then the sentence was read.
So therefore, it's the sentence of this court, Mr. Rose, that you be sentenced for a minimum of 10 years, the maximum of 15 years in prison.
So that was Stacy Rose Jr., who just couldn't believe his sentencing. Rose Jr. was caught up in a fight when 49-year-old Briscoe came outside to break up the fight. He was a father of one of the teenagers. He's also a father of 5 and a grandfather to 3 grandchildren.
Bruh.
Rose Jr. fled the scene on foot through the neighborhood, but eyewitnesses was able to tell the police who the killer was, and he was quickly arrested. Outside of the courthouse, Rose Jr.'s mom was freaking out because she couldn't believe his sentencing.
My son wasn't a drug dealer. They went over there and stole their pills out of his car.
Rose Jr. was very shocked to know he was sentenced for so long. He
Nigga
claimed
lucky he
it
ain't
was
get
an
life.
accident.
Fucking father
This
of 5
teen was
kids.
just shaking like crazy in the courtroom, and he was just crying right after his sentence. Alright, so at number 5, we have someone who isn't even a teenager yet, and she was freaking out. She appeared on an episode of Beyond Scared Straight. I love that show, and I love how they're such bad kids, they get reformed, and then they turn out to be okay kids. But the episode I'm going to show you guys is about a wannabe 12-year-old girl who thinks she's tough. Her name's Ashanti. And this girl was on track, to serve the rest of her life behind bars because she just seems so violent. Who knows what this little girl is capable of as she gets older.
I'm Ashanti. I'm 12. I like fighting. I threaten people. And I'm in a squad.
She's kind of speaking too gangster for me. I can barely hear what the heck she is saying, but from what I heard, she's not afraid of nobody. Well, until she was taken to a prison to see what her life was going to be like if she didn't change.
She's not the
Well,
only
what you're
bitch
about to
crying.
see is someone who I've never
You got me
seen
fucked
be
up.
so afraid of anything before. This girl is just freaking out and just losing her mind, and she's like squealing, I think.
We're getting closer and closer. They are going to line that hair back here, buddy. Here we go. Ain't no time to cry now, sister. Ain't no time to cry.
Okay, what the heck is even happening? She's just in panic mode. I'm not sure how tough this girl really is. Her tough act just seems to be fake. She's not ready for the real prison world. If she was, she wouldn't be acting like that.
Yeah, they picked
Number
this
4, we
bitch
have
up.
teenager Roxana Silvorsky, who was emotionally freaking out in court while she was being sentenced. So
Bitch tried to kill her
plotting to kill her family. Is this real life right now? Imagine being her family member,
With a face
and
like
you
that?
just found out that this teenager, your daughter, your sister, she was plotting on murdering you. Well, luckily, she was brought in by the police before anything bad happened, and now she is serving a very long time in a woman's correctional facility. Number 3, I actually just wanted to show you guys quickly a different perspective, the opposite of someone freaking out in court, and he seemed to have zero emotions while he was being sentenced. I mean, watch this.
It is hereby ordered that you be committed to the Department of Youth Services until the age of 21, and furthermore committed to the Massachusetts Correctional Institution at Cedar Junction.
This kid was just sentenced to over 40 years in prison, and he didn't even flinch. He was just 14 years old when he stabbed his teacher to death. I mean, I don't know, is he freaking out inside? Number 2.
It's crazy.
That ain't no teenager.
So that was 17-year-old Jacob Morgan from Rock Hill, South Carolina. He found himself in court after he was charged with arson and murder connected with his 14-year-old brother's death. Prosecutors claim that Morgan maliciously and intentionally started a fire. Morgan was so shocked when he was sentenced. His life just flashed before his eyes. He didn't think that he would get such a long sentence. He was charged for manslaughter, so he received 10 years for that, and another 15 years for arson. Which, to me, it kind of doesn't make sense because, well, let's think about it for a second. 10 years for killing someone, 15 years for setting a house on fire. I mean, I don't know. Finally, number 1.
God damn, what the fuck just happened?
Yo, these motherfuckers got low.
In that room to retain 19-year-old Dexter Johnson. He was sentenced to death, so yeah, he was pretty pissed off.
Found guilty of capital murder in accordance with the laws of the state of Texas. This court hereby assesses your punishment of death. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this is going to complete your jury service. I'm going to meet you in the jury room.
So Johnson sat down, and he kind of let it sit in for a few seconds when he was sentenced, and just a few minutes went by when he realized that there's nothing else to lose. This guy just loses his cool, and he just freaks out into a rage. I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but the woman in front just booked into the floor as if there was like a gunman in the room. She was just super scared. It seemed to come out of nowhere. And luckily there were so many police officers around, because you never know what else Johnson would be capable of doing. I mean, he's already capable of murder. So what's one more murder to his rap sheet? Well, there you guys have it. That's it for this video. I just want to say thank you guys so much
Alrighty, guys.
Brothers for sponsoring this video.
Y'all know the drill.
Like the page, enjoy, subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Join post notification squad.
I already passed teenager years, so I won't be going to jail for life on my teenage years. So
leave suggestions in the comments. Peace.